Hey, it's AJ here for Explained, and in this video we're going to be talking about ransomware. What is it? How serious is it? And how can you protect yourself from it? So, let's get started. So what is ransomware? Ransomware is the name given to a virus or piece of malware that can infect, lock, or even encrypt all of the files on your computer, or even on your entire network. You may not be able to access any of your files, and when you do try to access these, you may be presented with an image or a text file that didn't originate from your computer. You may also be presented with a window with information on how to pay the ransom and also decrypt all of your files. In the majority of cases, attackers will demand a sum of money, usually in the form of Bitcoin or some other form of cryptocurrency, in exchange for the key to decrypt your files. In the UK, data regulation laws mean that if any personal data is stolen as part of a data breach, you could also face fines. So how serious are ransomware attacks? It's estimated that as of 2021, there were roughly 4,000 ransomware attacks globally every single day. Here at Wondercall, we regularly hear about businesses who don't have any form of ransomware protection being targeted by these hackers. In the US, it's estimated that ransomware attacks against businesses occur roughly every 11 seconds, with businesses asked to pay on average more than $200,000 per attack. And for those who choose not to pay and don't have any form of ransomware protection, it can take anything up to 20 days to recover from an attack, and they may still have lost many, if not all, of their files, not to mention any lost business as a result. And even major companies are not immune to ransomware attacks. In the UK in 2017, the NHS was targeted by the WannaCry ransomware virus. More than 40 NHS trusts and hospitals were unable to serve patients, process blood work, give x-rays and a whole lot more. On top of this, thousands of NHS patient records were stolen in the attack. Analysts have estimated that the NHS lost more than £90 million in the attack, and it's estimated that the global loss caused by the WannaCry ransomware virus is in excess of $4 billion US. So how can you become infected with ransomware? Well, many ransomware attacks start as the result of some form of phishing. You can find out more about phishing and how to prevent against it in the video we did about phishing linked down in the description. These phishing attacks may just start with a link to attempt to steal your login credentials, to access your computer or network, or just download a malicious file which will start the attack. Sometimes some websites may even house malicious adverts, which when you click on the link will download a malicious file to your computer, which will also then start the attack. Once one of these malicious files infects any of your systems, it could quickly spread and bring you and your business to a grinding halt. So it's important that you be prepared in case the worst happens. Only recently, Colonial Pipeline in the US suffered a severe ransomware attack, causing the firm to shut down its fuel distribution network. This caused fuel shortages in many southern states in the US. In this instance, the attackers launched the ransomware attack by gaining access to a user's VPN account credentials that had been previously leaked on the dark web. The account was actually outdated and no one used it anymore, but it was still active. And because these account credentials had not been removed or the password altered, and no two-factor authentication was required on the account, the attackers were easily able to use the information that they found on the dark web to be able to access all of Colonial Pipeline's systems. The attackers reportedly had access to Colonial Pipeline's systems for more than a week before activating the ransomware and sending the ransom note. Colonial Pipeline actually paid more than $4.4 million to end the cyber attack, and probably lost more than that in business as well. If Colonial Pipeline had dark web monitoring, they could have been notified about the vulnerable account before the attack happened, so that they could check to make sure that that account was no longer active and no longer had access to any of their systems. If you want to find out more about Wondercall's active dark web monitoring service, you can contact any of our consultants for more information. And if you mention this video, you can get a free dark web scan for your business. So does ransomware infect just one computer? In short, no. Ransomware can infect any files which you can access. These may be just stored on your computer, they may be stored on external drives such as a hard drive or USB drive, or they may also be stored on a network shared drive. If network shared files become infected, the ransomware could easily spread to multiple people within your organization. And if those files are stored on a server, all of that server could be infected by ransomware, and those files could be locked or encrypted. As we saw in the Colonial Pipeline's ransomware attack, just one user was used to launch the ransomware attack, which cost the company millions of dollars. So how can you protect yourself from ransomware attacks? Whilst these ransomware attacks can cost your business a lot of money, or may even leave your business crippled as a result of an attack, you'd be surprised to learn that protecting yourself from ransomware attacks is actually quite inexpensive, and there are just a few things that you need to consider to protect yourself. The first thing that you should consider is updates. Do all of your computers and systems have the latest updates and security patches installed on them? These security patches are released on a regular basis to ensure that you are protected from the latest threats. It's good practice to check for these updates on a regular basis. Here at Call, our managed IT support can notify us if any of your computers or systems are outdated, and we can arrange with you to update these at a time that is convenient for you and your business. The next thing you should consider is security. It's important to not give administration privileges to any piece of software unless you understand what it is, what it does, what it can access, and if it is from a trusted provider. The next thing you should consider is antivirus. Does your business have an antivirus that's actively updated as soon as the latest threats are detected and protection from them is developed? Our antivirus solution is updated live, 24 hours a day, every day of the year, to ensure that your systems are always protected from the latest threats. As I mentioned previously, the majority of ransomware attacks come from phishing attacks or emails. As such, the best way to be able to protect yourself from these is at the source, by stopping you from receiving these phishing attacks to begin with. This is where active email threat prevention comes in. At Call, we can offer real-time mailbox scanning and monitoring to make sure that you are always protected from receiving phishing emails. This same service can also verify links that you receive in emails to make sure that they are legitimate, and it can identify potentially vulnerable members of your staff, including managers, directors, and even financial members of your staff. If you contact one of our consultants, they can offer you a free mailbox scan for your business, which can identify any and all threats to any of your business mailboxes. The next thing you should consider is backups. Do you know what the 3-2-1 backup method is? Backups are an essential part of a business's IT strategy. The 3-2-1 backup method says you should always have 3 copies of every file. One stored locally on your computer, another on a backup or network drive, and another third copy off-site at a remote location, ideally on another network entirely. If your files are backed up using this method, you can always ensure that you can restore from another version of the file if the worst happens. If you discover that one of your users is infected as the result of a ransomware attack, it is important to locate and isolate every affected user as soon as possible. To do this, it is best to remove every device from your network as soon as you can, especially those that already appear to be infected. You can do this by removing the network cable from the computer or disconnecting them from your Wi-Fi network. If you can find the source of the infection, it then may be possible to trace who else may be infected. Next, it is important to isolate all potentially infected drives. These could be USB drives, hard drives, network storage, or even server storage. Once this has been completed, you should then run security scans on all of your other machines to make sure that they are not infected. You should also evaluate all of your backups to make sure that they are not infected also. Once this has been completed, you should isolate any infected computers from your network to ensure that no files or folders can be shared with each other or any cloud storage solutions. You can then individually connect these to the internet to attempt to use tools such as No More Ransom to attempt to unlock these files. However, this is not guaranteed to work. If this does not work, and you have ensured that your backups are not affected by the ransomware, you should wipe all of these machines to factory settings and restore the files from an earlier clean backup. But how can you protect yourself from this happening to begin with? Well, the more important question you should be asking yourself is, are you protected by a financially backed ransomware protection? that can monitor all of your files for any known form of ransomware as soon as they are detected and decrypted. If you are at all concerned that you or your business may be exposed to ransomware, and you are not protected by all of the things we have covered in this video, then you should look into ransomware protection as soon as possible. At Call, our ransomware protection is covered by a financially backed guarantee. If you want to find out more about how we can help protect you from ransomware attacks, reach out to one of our consultants. We'll also leave a link to our ransomware protection page in the description. Hopefully though, you've found the information in this video useful. If you have, please give the video a like, and also consider sharing it with your friends, family and colleagues. Also, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified about future Tech-Explained videos, and also our shorter Tech Bites videos. Until then though, see you soon!